Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial, we are going to be making these little baskets. These are so cute. I love these things. I love a basket with a lid. They're so cute. You can put all kinds of stuff in there. Now these are going to, the sizes, what I'm trying to say is the sizes that you guys are going to make, totally up to you. And I tell you in the video how to decide how big you want your basket to be. And they're so easy to do. I do want to give everyone a fair warning, so just so everybody knows, fair warning, these will hurt your hands. These hurt my hands whenever I was making them. Holy cow, especially this one. This one I got through really quick. This one was like, oh, my hands are killing me. And I actually broke my clover hook. I pulled the brown, like this is a 6mm. I pulled the brown little plastic right off of it. Never seen a clover hook do that before, but I managed to do that. So I got to watching on YouTube and found a little video where it shows you how to make this little rubber band piece. This is just my experiment one. I was just playing with it, trying to figure out how to do it. And I did it. And it's really good. I like the way it feels in my hand. It's pretty nice. So that's going to lead me straight into what you guys are going to need to make your little baskets here. Yeah, so you're going to need a 6mm hook. You're going to need some scissors, which I did not use my, I can't think of what I'm trying to say. I didn't use my, yarn scissors. Like, I have a certain pair of scissors that's for yarn, a certain pair of scissors for paper, and then like a certain pair for cardboard. And I did not use my yarn scissors for everything in this project. So I do suggest you get another pair of scissors that you can use for cardboard or paper or whatever. Because the big one, you don't have to do this, but I did just to help, and I wrote down the day I made it, just to help keep the basket a little more sturdy. Okay, so, you know, an old box or something, so you can cut the cardboard. So a pair of scissors for the cardboard, some cardboard, and a needle to weave in your ends. And you're going to need some yarn. Now, I used this old yarn, Renee Perfect Match, Sears Best No Knot. 4-weight, Sears Lab Tested. So I have a bunch of this in my closet that I found at a garage sale, and I bought it, and then honestly I kind of forgot about it. It just sits there and sits there, and I thought, you know what, I need to use that up. So that's what I used for this basket. But you're also going to need, okay, so you're going to need your jute. Now this is 2mm 3-ply jute. Why does it want to focus on everything but me? I'm going to put a link in the description box for you guys so you can order this. But, I mean, if you can find it at a craft store or what have you, please make sure that it is the 2mm, like it is tiny jute. If it's bigger than that, it is impossible to crochet with. So this is just like, I don't know, like it's 2mm and it's like a 3-ply. You can pull it. Yeah, you can see the three strands that have been just twisted around. But I suggest getting what I've got in the link or in the description box because that's what I know works the best. But these baskets are perfect. So what we do is we start with our base. We work, you know, in double crochet. And then for the sturdy side, we're going to work single crochets. And then once you get to the height you want, like in the video, in the tutorial, I tell you guys exactly how big to make your basket. If you want it big, if you want it small, if you want it bigger, you want it smaller. It's totally up to you. Excuse me. Then we're going to work up the sides. And then we're going to fasten off and be done. And then we make our lid, which is basically the exact same thing we did here. And then I put some, we do our little handle. Then I put some cardboard in mine just because I wanted to keep it sturdy and stiff. And then I wrote down what day I made it. So 20 years from now when I look, I'll be like, oh yeah. Anyway, so then it sits nice and pretty on our basket. Okay, so that's it, guys. That is everything you're gonna need. Just in case anybody asks, I really don't think this basket will be sturdy enough if you use 2 strands of floor ply, or if you use a strand of 3-weight and a strand of 4-weight. I don't think it'll be sturdy enough. The jute is what makes this nice and stiff and sturdy, okay? You can try it. I don't know if it'll work or not, all right? But I have a feeling people's going to ask. People are going to ask. Anyway, so get your guys' supplies together and let's get started. Okay, so to get started with our basket, we're going to take our... I all of a sudden can't remember the name of this. Jute. It's jute. I ended up having to look it up because I couldn't remember the name all of a sudden. Okay, and this stuff gets all over the place. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our yarn and our jute, and we're going to get a slip knot on our hook. Okay? Just like that. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back down and slip stitch into that very first chain we just made. And work that slip stitch. I'm going to bring you guys in because I realize you're really far. There, that's better. Alright, now pull that tail so it tightens up that slip knot right there. And we're going to chain 1. And we're going to work 12 double crochet into this ring, okay? And make sure you work over that tail. So I'm going to go right in there with my first double. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm going to get this done off camera and I'll be right back. All right, I have 10, so I got 2 more to go. 11, 1 more to get in there. Scooch. And there is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, now we're going to slip stitch to that very first double, which, don't get mistaken, right here is our first double crochet. This is the chain 1 that we started with. So right there is our first double. And you can kind of tell it's a little slanted sideways. So get in there, make sure you're getting the yarn and the jute, and slip stitch. Now we can pull that center tail to tighten it and close that hole up a little bit. We can close it up more once we get farther into the pattern. All right, so that was round 1. So we're going to chain 1, and for round 2, we're going to increase into every double all the way around. So all that means is the increase is 2 double into each double crochet all the way around. So we're going from 12 double to 24, okay? So right back into that same double that we just slip stitched into, we're going to work 2 double. Just like that. And now we're going to work 2 double into each double all the way around. All right, I'm going to finish this off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm coming back around and here's my last double crochet that I need to work 2 doubles into. 1 and 2. There we go. Now I'm going to slip stitch to my first. Oops. And if you look, right there is our slip stitch. Right there is our chain 1 right here. And then right here is our first double. That's what we're going to slip stitch into. Just like that. Okay, so that's round 2. So for round 3, we are going to get your... Okay, we're going to chain 1, and into that very first double that we just slip stitched into, we're going to increase again. So the increase is just 2 doubles. 1 and 2. And then into the next double, we're going to work 1 double crochet. Okay? This twine is, or the jute is being a little bit of a butt. All right. So now into the next double, we increase. Into the next double, 1. So what the pattern repeat for this round is increase 1, increase 1, increase 1, increase 1, increase 1, all the way around, okay? So we just did 1, so now we increase into the next, 1 into the next, increase into the next, 1 into the next, increase into the next. Repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you back at the beginning. Okay, so I'm coming back around. I have 1 more double crochet to work in right there, and that one gets my about said single, my 1 double crochet. Okay, so now I'm going to slip stitch to my first, which is this right here. I'm going to slip stitch to that. And that is the end of round 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go on to round 4. Get me some slack. All right, so for round 4, we chain 1 and right back into that same double with an increase, which is 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And then into the next, we're going to work 1 double and then 1 double into the next. And that's what we're going to repeat around. Increase into the next, double into the next 2. Increase into the next, double into the next 2. Increase into the next, and repeat that around until you get back to, or until you get to your beginning, okay? So I'm going to meet you right before I work that last double crochet. So we increase, double, double, increase, double, double, increase, double, double, all the way around, and I'll meet you when we get back to the beginning. Okay, so I'm coming to the end. I just worked an increase. I have 2 doubles left, so those last 2 doubles get my 1 double. 1 and 1. Now I'm going to slip stitch back to that first double right there, right here. There's my chain 1, and there's the belt to my chain 1, which is my slip stitch, chain 1. There's my first double, and I'm going to get in there, making sure I'm getting the jute and my yarn, and slip stitch. All right, so there is what we have so far. So I'm going to go 1 more round for the base. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So for round 5, I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to increase into that, oops, about lost my jute, increase into that first double like we have for the other rounds. So my yarn over, I'm going to go right in there. There's 1 and 2. So throughout this pattern, what we've done, we've increased into each, and then that was round 2. Then round 3, we increase 1, increase 1. And then the next round, we increase 2, increase 2. So now you can kind of tell we're going to do increase 3, increase 3. So we worked our increase, now we double crochet into the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we just repeat that. Increase into the next. Okay. So repeat that around. Increase, 1, 2, 3. Increase into the next. 1, 2, 3, double. Increase into the next. 1, 2, 3. Repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you when we get back to the beginning. Okay, so I've made it back around. I have 3 double crochets left that I need to work 1 double crochet into. So get that done. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so now I'm going to slip stitch to my first, which you can see right there is the slip stitch from the previous round, chain 1, and here's my first double. So I'm going to slip stitch into that. Make sure you get the jute and the yarn. Uh-oh, I'm snagged somewhere. Try that again. There we go. Okay. So I am going to call this good for the base of my basket. Now I am measuring from one end to the other about 7 1/4 inches, almost 7 1/4. So I'm going to call that good for the base of my basket, okay? So if you want your basket bigger, like I said at the beginning, if you want it to be bigger, you know, keep working it. So we went from increase into every one, increase 1, increase 1, increase 2, increase 2, increase 3, increase 3. So if you want your basket to be bigger, go increase 4 double, increase 4 double, increase 4 double. And then the next round, increase 5, increase 5, increase 5, and then so on, 6, 7, 8, for the however big you want the base of your basket to be. So I like mine right here. So I am going to move on to the outside portion. So we are going to chain 1. So this is round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for round 6. We are going to back loop, single crochet all the way around. So even to the first one right here that we just slip stitched into, we are going to only work into the back loops. Right there. You see it? We are going to back loop, single crochet. Now I am going to start using my stitch marker. So I don't get lost. Okay. And now I'm just going to go into the back loop only, singles. Just like this. If you guys can hear that, it's raining outside and I have my window open. The birds are chirping and the rain's falling. All right, so just keep working your back loop, single crochet, and what that's going to do is make a turn, and then so it's going to look like this. Okay, so this is going to be the outside of our basket, and we're going to work it up this way. Okay, so go ahead and work your back loop single all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the beginning. Okay, so I've made it back around. I have one more double that I need to work my back loop single into. Just like that. And I'm going to slip stitch to that very first single crochet. Oop, slip stitch, not single. Okay, so now we are going to be working the base of the basket, right? So this is going to depend on how you want your basket to be. You know, do you want a short basket? Do you want a tall basket? Doesn't matter. All we're going to do is just single crochet around and around and around and around and around until you like the height of your basket, okay? So we're not even going to use a stitch marker. We're not going to mark it or nothing. All we're going to do is just keep single crocheting around until you like the height that you're at. So I don't know yet. I'm just going to work mine and see how I like it. All right, so just work year round. Just single crochet around and around and around. Not back loop, not front loop, just normal singles all the way around, and I will come back once I've got my basket to the height I like, okay? So this is what it should be looking like. Just like that. You guys hear the thunder? Alright, so I'm going to work my rounds and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've worked the single crochet rounds, and I've worked it around and around and around and around, and I think it's about 4 inches tall. Yeah, 4¼ inches from my tabletop to top of the last round of singles. And now what I'm going to do, or what I did, is when I got to the height that I liked, I looked and I'm like, okay, so I like the way this looks. So then what I did was I looked around the base trying to find where I started my back loop single crochets. And then I decided that's where I'm going to end. So I single crocheted to that point. Now, if it doesn't have to be that point, I just did that. It's kind of the way it's just kind of how I did it. It doesn't have to be. You can stop the top of that basket wherever you want to. Okay, so I've got to find my hook now because I don't know where I left it. Okay, so I have a different hook. I'm using a boy hook right now. And for those of you that follow me or that are on my Facebook group, I showed you guys I broke my clover hook, and this is what I broke it on. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just slip stitch into that next single. Chain 1. There we go. Pull up a loop. And cut. Okay. Pull that, and now I'm going to weave that in. So you guys can definitely leave your basket the way it is, and fill it up with stuff and have it with no lid or anything. But I'm actually going to put a little piece of cardboard inside of mine. All I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it on camera. All I'm going to do is set this on cardboard, trace around it on the cardboard, cut it out, shove it on the inside. But I'm going to show you guys how I add a little lid like I did for this one. Or well, I should say I'm going to show you how to make the lid, not add the lid. Alright, I'm going to get this weaved in real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got that end weaved in, and like I said earlier, you can be done with your basket, but if you want to make oh my gosh, if you want to make a lid for your basket, go ahead and get your yarn and your jute. So basically what we're going to do for the lid is work the exact same thing we did on the bottom of the basket. So depending on the pattern I shouldn't say the pattern, I'm sorry. Depending on the rounds you did for your basket, like mine, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds for my basket. I've got a piece of cardboard in it. You don't have to do that. I did it just kind of, get mine to lay nice and flat. All I did was just set it on cardboard, traced it, cut it out, shoved the cardboard inside. But what I'm trying to say is, depending on how big you worked the base of your basket, mine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is going to depend how you work your lid. So basically what we're going to do is work the exact same thing we did for the base of the basket. You're just repeating that. So for mine, I have 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am going to just repeat the same thing I did for the base of my basket. I broke my crochet hook the other day, and I was experimenting this little thing. I had never done this before, so I was just playing with it. And I really like that. It works pretty good. I'm gonna redo it in a solid color. I was just playing around with it, and I messed it up on a couple spots, but I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm gonna start with my chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slip stitch back to that first chain. Get in there, get my ring, tighten that first chain down, chain 1, and I'm going to work 12 double crochet back into that ring. Working over my tail, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and finish my 12 and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just worked my 12th double crochet, so I'm going to slip stitch to my very first, which is right here. Remember, right here is my slip stitch and there's my first chain. So I'm going to slip stitch to that first double crochet. And now I'm going to pull that center tail, pull that nice and tight. Okay, so now I'm just going to repeat the exact same thing I did at the bottom of my basket. So round 2, we work an increase or 2 double crochet into each double. So increase, 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 increase all the way around. Get back to the beginning, slip stitch to your first, chain 1. The next round we work an increase, then 1 double, increase, then 1 double, increase, then 1 double. Work that all the way around, slip stitch to your first, chain 1, then we work an increase into the first, and then a double into the next 2 double. Increase, double into the next 2, increase, double into the next 2. Repeat that around, slip stitch to your first double crochet, chain 1. And then we're going to increase into the first double crochet and then double crochet 3. 1, 2, 3 double, increase, 3 double, increase, 3 double, increase, all the way around. And you're just going to repeat that until you get the same thing that the base of your basket is, okay? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. So my last round is going to be an increase, 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase. All right, so you work the exact same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna get my lid done and I will be right back. Okay, so I've worked my lid just the exact same way as my bottom. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. So we are going to move on to the next round. You may have more rounds, you may have less, just depends on the size of your basket. Okay, so we are going to slip stitch to our first double crochet right here. Now don't get confused with your slip stitch. Pull that slip stitch down a little bit. Right there's your chain 1, and here is our first double. So we are going to slip stitch to that first double. Okay, now slide that slip stitch over, and we are going to go right back into the top of that double with a back loop single. Okay, so chain 1, slide it over, look at the top, back loop only, single crochet. So only around the back loop. All right, now the back loop meaning the I guess you wouldn't actually call these loops, but the loop that's to the back of the stitch, I mean away from you. So if we turn this over, here is the actual back of our work. Here's the front, so we're going to the back. Okay? So that's all we're going to do for this round is back loop, single crochet. All the way around. Alright, so I will come back in just a minute and we'll move on to the next part. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I've made it all the way around with my back loop singles. Now to move on to the last round, all I'm going to do is go right into that first single crochet with a slip stitch. Oops, I lost my jute. Slip stitch, chain 1, and then we're just going to single crochet into each back loop single all the way around. So just a single crochet. Alright, so you guys go ahead and repeat your single crochet all the way around, and I will meet you when we get to the end. Okay, so I have made it back around, and all I'm going to do is slip stitch to my first single, chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. Okay, so now we gotta get this to lay the way we want it to. Now, two things. You can be done with your lid. Well, I guess not actually really be done with it, but adjust you guys a bit. Leave your lid the way it is, and this is how it's sitting on my basket right here. But I am going to actually put a little piece of cardboard in here just to keep it nice and flat. All I'm going to do is trace the bottom of my basket on cardboard, cut it out, and then kind of trim it to fit my lid. You don't have to do that. I want to just to kind of keep it sturdy. I'm going to go ahead and cut this tail. That ain't going anywhere. Weave this tail. But I'm going to do the cardboard off camera. Like I said, all I'm doing is just tracing it out and then cutting it, and then I'll trim it down to where it fits. And I'm going to hot glue it down. All I'm doing is see how it sits now? All I'm going to do is hot glue it to that cardboard so it sits flat. Okay, I'm going to get that done, and I will be right back. Okay, so this is the lid on my basket. I put the cardboard in there, and I didn't glue it down because we're going to do a handle first. So see, if I push on it really hard, see how it kind of bends? That's all right. I didn't put any cardboard in the bottom of it either. But what we're going to do now is add a little handle. So I'm going to do a little handle like this one is. Just like that. So all I'm going to do is get my jute. Get everything out of the way here. My jute and my yarn, which is in a knot. All right. Whenever you guys are working with your jute, there is going to be all kinds of stuff that flies out of this. Half of it, I don't know where the heck it came from. All right, so I got my jute and my yarn here, and I'm going to have a longer tail. It wants to focus on everything in the background. And I want a longer tail. And the reason for that, because we're going to use that to tie it on the handle. But all I'm going to do is get a slip knot, and I'm going to chain, let's see. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 and 10. See that? Yeah, I'm going to call 10 good. Actually, I'm going to chain one more, so 11, and then I'm going to pull up a long loop and cut. I want to explain this to you guys. So this is my work desk, and then I have my work desk against the wall, but I can't have my desk fully against the wall because there is a baseboard. So that baseboard keeps my desk from being flush against the wall. So anything that falls between my desk and the wall is gone until I finally get to pull my desk from the wall. So there's a bunch of things down there, and my ball of jute fell down there. So I think it's time. I'm going to have to pull my desk out. Anyway, all right. So we are going to pull that tail and give this a nice good tug. Just like that. And then we are going to take our lid. Get you a nail. A nail. Did I just say a nail? Oh, for a needle. And we're going to thread the needle with one of the tails, one of the sides, I should say. And I am going to come out, let me see, where do I want this to go? Okay, so I'm going to come, so here's round 1, here's round 2. I'm going to go in between 2 and 3. I'm going to go there, and then on this side, I'm going to do the same thing on here. Here's round 1, here's round 2 and 3, but I want to go straight across, right like that. turn it over, and I'm just going to tie these two ends in a knot. I'm not going to do it too tight. Just like that. I'm going to double knot it one more time. And then, if you were not doing the cardboard, I would weave in these ends. But since I am, I'm just going to cut them. And then I'm going to hide it with my cardboard. Get that back in there. And there is my lid. Ta-da! That's my basket! It's, you know what? I just had a cool idea. Let me find a marker. Do I have a marker? Yeah. It's when I made this. Okay, anyway. Get my basket. Ta-da! I love it. I am so super happy. I think I'm gonna have to put a piece of cardboard on my little basket too. But I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't so you never miss what I've got coming out next. Leave me a comment what you guys think, and in the description box there are links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my email, my Etsy shop, all kinds of links down there for you guys. So check those out. Follow me on all of them. And if you make this, tag me in it, or if you're on my Facebook group, post it so I can please see, because I love, nothing makes me happier than seeing you guys make the stuff that I've designed and spent hours making. All right, guys, that's it. Once again, thank you all so very much. You guys are the greatest, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.